Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all today. Today, we will be exploring an exciting and transformative topic. The presentation is titled Digital QMS and Paperless Pharma Systems. We will cover how digital quality management systems are revolutionizing the pharmaceutical industry, and also how moving towards paperless systems can enhance efficiency and compliance. So, let's dive in and discover the future of pharma quality management together. Let's take a closer look at why digital QMS is so important. One of the main drivers is operational efficiency. By moving to a digital system, we can streamline processes, reduce manual work, and improve overall productivity. Another critical factor is the increasing number of global regulatory inspections. Having a digital QMS helps us stay prepared and compliant across different regions, making audits much smoother. The outcomes of adopting a digital approach are quite compelling. We move toward paperless operations, which not only saves physical space, but also reduces errors and delays. Real-time quality oversight becomes possible, allowing us to catch issues early and make informed decisions quickly. Automated compliance tracking ensures that we stay aligned with regulations without the heavy manual effort that traditional methods require. Speaking of traditional pharma documentation, many of us are familiar with paper batch records, manual deviation management, paper SOP approvals, and manual audit documentation. These processes can be slow, error-prone, and difficult to manage, especially as volumes grow. This is where digital transformation becomes a game changer. The main drivers behind this shift are regulatory compliance and data integrity. Digital systems help us meet strict regulatory standards consistently and ensure that our data remains accurate, complete, and trustworthy. Overall, moving to a digital QMS supports a more efficient, compliant, and agile quality management environment. Let's take a look at the regulatory landscape surrounding digital systems. These key regulations are what ensure our electronic records and signatures are trustworthy and on par with traditional paper documentation. Starting with 21 CFR Part 11, this is a crucial regulation from the FDA that sets the criteria for electronic records and signatures in the pharmaceutical and biotech industries. It emphasizes the need for secure, reliable, and audit-ready electronic documentation. Moving over to the European Union, we have Annex 11 of the EU GMP guidelines, which similarly governs electronic records and digital systems to ensure data integrity and compliance within the pharmaceutical manufacturing sector. Then there's GAMP5, a guidance that provides a risk-based approach to validation and lifecycle management of automated systems, making sure they meet regulatory expectations efficiently. We also have ICH-Q9, which focuses on quality risk management. This helps organizations identify, evaluate, and control risks related to digital data and processes, ensuring consistent quality. Finally, the ALCOA plus data integrity principles. These principles, which stand for attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, accurate, and the plus aspects, are fundamental to maintaining data integrity and trustworthiness. Altogether, these regulations and principles work together to create a framework that guarantees electronic records and signatures are reliable, secure, and equivalent to paper records. This is essential to maintaining compliance and trust in digital systems across the industry. So, what exactly is a digital QMS? Well, it's a digital quality management system, which is essentially a software platform designed to help us manage various quality processes more efficiently. It's used to handle things like deviation management, which involves tracking and resolving deviations from our standard procedures. Then, there's CAPA management, corrective and preventive actions, to ensure issues are addressed systematically. Change control is also a key part, helping us manage any modifications to processes or documents in a controlled way. Document control is vital for maintaining up-to-date records, while audit management helps us prepare for and conduct audits smoothly. Lastly, training management ensures everyone stays up to date with the latest standards and procedures. The main purpose of implementing a digital QMS is to provide us with strong quality oversight, making sure we stay compliant with regulations. It also enhances traceability, so we can track every action and decision throughout our operations. Overall, it's about creating a more transparent, efficient, and compliant environment, especially critical in pharmaceutical operations where quality and regulatory adherence are paramount. Let's take a moment to look at some of the key benefits of implementing a paperless pharma system. First, we see faster review processes. By digitizing documentation, reviews become more efficient, saving us time and reducing bottlenecks. Next is improved compliance. Digital systems help ensure that all documentation meets regulatory standards consistently, making audits smoother and less stressful. Third, we have reduced human error. Automation and digital checks minimize mistakes that can happen with manual data entry or paper records. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a paperless pharma system? It's essentially replacing traditional manual documentation with digital systems. Instead of paper records, everything is stored, managed, and accessed electronically. This shift not only streamlines operations, but also aligns with modern industry standards for efficiency and accuracy. Connecting this to our overall theme, adopting digital solutions like this is a crucial step toward more reliable, compliant, and efficient pharmaceutical processes. Let's take a closer look at the key regulatory requirements for digital systems under 21 CFR Part 11. These controls are essential to ensure that electronic records are trustworthy and compliant. First, electronic signatures are a core element. They need to be unique and secure, just like handwritten signatures. Next, audit trails are critical. They provide a complete history of all changes made to records, ensuring transparency and accountability. System validation is another key requirement. It means we have to demonstrate that our systems are working correctly and reliably for their intended use. Access control is also vital. It ensures only authorized personnel can view or modify records, protecting sensitive information. Lastly, record retention requirements specify how long we need to keep these electronic records to comply with regulations. All of these controls work together to make sure that electronic records are not only reliable and secure, but also legally equivalent to traditional paper records. This overall framework helps us maintain integrity and compliance in our digital processes, which is fundamental as we move toward more digital solutions in our industry. Now, let's take a closer look at the expectations outlined in EU GMP Annex 11. First and foremost, computer system validation, or CSV, is a critical component. It ensures that our systems are functioning correctly and consistently, meeting regulatory requirements. Next, risk-based lifecycle management emphasizes that we should approach system validation and maintenance throughout their entire lifecycle, focusing resources where they're most needed to mitigate potential risks. Data integrity controls are also essential. They help us maintain the accuracy, consistency, and reliability of data throughout its life cycle, which is vital for compliance and product quality. Backup and disaster recovery plans are about ensuring that we can restore data and resume operations quickly in case of unexpected events, safeguarding our data and processes. Access management is another key point. Proper controls over who can access what within our systems help prevent unauthorized changes and protect sensitive data. Periodic system reviews are necessary to regularly assess the system's performance and compliance, ensuring everything remains aligned with regulatory expectations. And finally, any system that affects product quality must not only demonstrate that it's fit for its intended use, but also that data is managed securely. This dual focus helps us uphold the highest standards in manufacturing and ensure patient safety. Overall, these core expectations reinforce the importance of robust, secure, and well-managed computer systems in our quality management framework. Now, let's look at how ALCOA Plus builds upon the foundational ALCOA principles to ensure data integrity. ALCOA Plus emphasizes that data should be complete, consistent, enduring, and available. These additional qualities are crucial, especially in a digital environment, because regulators expect data to be reliable and traceable throughout its life cycle. When we talk about complete data, we mean nothing should be missing. Every piece of information must be captured accurately. Consistent data ensures that information remains uniform over time, which is vital for audits and reviews. Enduring data means it should be preserved securely over the long term, and available data indicates that it can be accessed whenever needed. Regulators specifically require adherence to these ALCOA plus principles to verify data integrity. Remember, ALCOA itself stands for attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate. These are the core attributes that ensure data can be trusted. In digital systems, this trust is maintained through features like audit trails. These audit trails are essential because they provide a complete and traceable history of all data changes. They help us demonstrate that data has not been altered improperly and that every step is documented transparently. This way, electronic systems can uphold the integrity required by regulatory standards, ensuring that data remains reliable and compliant at all times. Let's talk about computer system validation, or CSV, which is a crucial process to ensure that digital systems are truly fit for their intended purpose. When we say fit for intended use, we mean that the system performs reliably, accurately, and consistently in its specific application. The validation lifecycle is a step-by-step approach that guides us through confirming the system's quality and performance. It starts with gathering the User Requirement Specification, or URS, where we clearly define what the users need from the system. Next, we develop the Functional Specification, or FS, which details how the system will meet those needs. Then comes Design Qualification, or DQ, where we verify that the system's design aligns with our specifications. Installation Qualification, IQ, confirms that the system is correctly installed according to the design. Operational Qualification, OQ, tests whether the system operates as expected within defined parameters. Finally, Performance Qualification, PQ, validates that the system performs reliably under real-world conditions. Most industries follow the GAMP5 methodology when it comes to validation. GAMP5 provides a structured, risk-based approach that helps us ensure quality without unnecessary burdens. It emphasizes understanding the system's life cycle and applying appropriate validation efforts at each stage. Overall, this validation process is fundamental in regulated environments to maintain compliance and ensure that our digital systems support safe and effective operations. Now, let's take a closer look at the typical modules you'll find in a digital QMS. These modules are the building blocks that help us manage quality more efficiently and effectively. First, we have the Document Management System, or DMS, which ensures all our documents are organized, accessible, and up to date. Then there's Deviation Management, which helps us track and address any deviations from our established processes. CAPA management is crucial for implementing corrective and preventive actions to resolve issues and prevent recurrence. Change control is about managing alterations systematically to minimize risks. Training management ensures our team stays qualified and informed. Supplier quality focuses on monitoring and maintaining the quality of our suppliers. And finally, complaint management allows us to handle customer feedback and complaints proactively. To give you a quick example of how these modules work together in practice, a deviation occurs, which triggers an investigation. We identify the root cause, then implement a CAPA to address the issue. After that, we assess the effectiveness of the CAPA to ensure the problem is truly resolved. These interconnected modules streamline our quality processes, making sure we maintain compliance and continuous improvement across the board. Let's take a look at this example of an electronic batch record, or EBR. On the left, we see some common problems with paper batch manufacturing records, or BMRs. Human error is a big one. Mistakes can easily happen when entries are handwritten. Missing entries are also a concern, which can lead to gaps in the documentation. And then there's the slow review process, which can delay production and affect overall efficiency. Now, moving to the benefits of an EBR system on the right. First, automated calculations help ensure accuracy and save time. Electronic signatures provide a secure and compliant way to authenticate records. Real-time batch monitoring allows us to see what's happening instantly, which improves control and responsiveness. And finally, automated review by exception means the system highlights only the issues that need attention, streamlining the review process. Overall, transitioning from paper to electronic records addresses these key problems by enhancing accuracy, speed, and compliance, which are critical for efficient and reliable manufacturing. Let's take a look at the traditional process first. Typically, when a deviation occurs, it triggers an investigation, which then leads to a CAPA, and finally, closure happens on paper. This process, while functional, can be quite slow and prone to errors. Now moving to the digital deviation and CAPA workflow example, this is where things get really interesting. The benefits are clear. Enhanced traceability, meaning you can easily track every step, faster closure times, which helps keep operations smooth, and improved compliance documentation, making audits much simpler. In a digital workflow, everything is streamlined. The operator logs the deviation directly into the QMS, so no more paper forms. QA then assigns an investigator automatically, which speeds up the process right from the start. The root cause analysis is conducted within the system, making it more efficient. Then, the CAPA is generated automatically, eliminating manual errors and delays. Finally, the effectiveness of the corrective actions is verified within the same workflow. This integrated approach not only saves time, but also ensures consistency and compliance throughout the process. It really connects to our overall theme of digital transformation, making quality management more agile, transparent, and reliable. Let's talk about some of the key benefits of implementing a digital QMS and paperless systems. First, on the operational side, we see faster batch release times. By digitizing processes, we can review and approve batches more quickly, which helps meet production deadlines and improves overall efficiency. Next, there's improved inspection readiness. With digital systems, documentation is more organized and accessible, making it easier to prepare for audits or inspections at any time. We also see a reduction in documentation errors. Manual paperwork can be prone to mistakes, but digital systems help automate data entry and validation, leading to greater accuracy. And of course, real-time data analytics become possible, giving us immediate insights into production and quality metrics, which supports faster decision-making. Now, looking at the compliance benefits, a strong audit trail is critical. Digital systems automatically record every change or update, creating a transparent history that auditors love to see. Then, there's data integrity assurance, since digital systems minimize the risk of data tampering or loss, ensuring our data remains trustworthy. Lastly, being prepared for regulatory inspections becomes much easier, thanks to organized, accessible records that can be quickly retrieved when needed. Overall, these benefits tie directly into our goal of improving quality, compliance, and operational efficiency through digital transformation. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the common challenges we face when implementing new systems. One major hurdle is legacy system integration. Many organizations still rely on older systems that can be difficult to connect with modern cloud solutions, which can slow down the entire process. Validation cost is another significant challenge. Ensuring that new systems meet all regulatory and safety standards can be expensive and time-consuming, but it's essential for compliance and safety. Change management also plays a critical role. Shifting to new technologies often means changing established workflows, which can meet resistance from staff. Proper change management is key to smoothing this transition. Staff training is equally important. As systems evolve, so must the skills of the team. Investing in thorough training helps prevent errors and boosts confidence in using new tools. Finally, cybersecurity risks are a growing concern. Protecting sensitive data against cyber threats is vital, especially as regulators now put more emphasis on cybersecurity and oversight for cloud-based systems. These challenges underscore the importance of careful planning and robust strategies to successfully implement new systems while maintaining security and compliance. So, to wrap things up, digital QMS and paperless systems are really becoming the standard practice in modern pharmaceutical manufacturing. They're helping us streamline processes, improve accuracy, and stay compliant with regulations. The key success factors here are critical. First, regulatory compliance is non-negotiable, ensuring that everything we do meets the strict standards set by authorities. Then, risk-based validation is essential. We focus our efforts where the potential risks are highest to ensure safety and quality. Data integrity is another cornerstone. Trustworthy, accurate data is fundamental to making informed decisions. And of course, proper system governance helps us maintain control, security, and accountability across all systems. Looking ahead, there are some exciting trends shaping the future. AI-enabled quality analytics will allow us to analyze vast amounts of data quickly, identifying issues before they become problems. Integrated manufacturing execution systems will unify different aspects of production, making operations more seamless. Cloud-based GMP platforms will offer flexibility, scalability, and real-time access to data from anywhere. All these innovations are really supporting the overall goal of making pharmaceutical manufacturing safer, more efficient, and more compliant. It's an exciting time to be in this field, as technology continues to transform how we work. For further support, please contact us. We're here to help you with any questions or additional information you might need. Don't hesitate to reach out. Your success is our priority. Thank you so much for your time and attention today.